So President Trump is still on the attack against the Mueller report, which is hilarious because previously he had said it completely exonerated him, and that was based off the Bill Barr memo. He didn't actually read the Mueller report. He didn't even read Bill Barr's memo. He just listened to the cable news guys say it was a complete and total exoneration. So, well, now he's, almost, a few days after the release of the redacted memo, the redacted report, now he's going off on Twitter and basically trying to gaslight people about the meaning of high crimes and misdemeanors. And so why that's important, of course, is that that's basically the bar that they set for impeachment, right? Now, let me read his tweet here. He said, only high crimes and misdemeanors can lead to impeachment, which means he's very, very worried about it. There were no crimes by me, no collusion, no obstruction, so you can't impeach. It was the Democrats that committed the crimes, not your Republican president. Tables are finally turning on the witch hunt. Here we go. Democrats committed the crimes. How are the tables turning on the witch hunt? Again, you're in control of the presidency. Maybe you could, I don't know, ask for the Justice Department to go and look at. But there is no criminal wrongdoing. There is wrongdoing by the Democratic Party. They did, after all, cheat their own. They cheated some of their own members back in 2016. But it's not necessarily criminal activity involved with that. So what crimes are we looking at? There are no crimes, of course. Trump, of course, is completely wrong about that. Now, he neglected to include bribery. Now, that's interesting. Now, the Article 2 of the United States Constitution states the president, vice president, and all civil officers in the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, the Constitution does not define bribery as high crimes and misdemeanors. So, now, again, so if you could say that he maybe took money or took something worth of value, perhaps campaign contributions of some sort, illegally, maybe from foreign powers, Saudi Arabia, etc., well, then that would be possible grounds for impeachment, right? Now, the Mueller report did not exonerate President Trump when it came to obstruction, so that's something else. And so, look, he's getting a lot of pushback from social media. I want to read some of those here. Calvin says, sounds like you're trying to convince yourself here. That's not how any of this works. Dotard, nice try though. Dean Abudallah says, from Article 1 of impeachment of Clinton, William Jefferson Clinton has undermined the integrity of his office, has brought disrepute on the presidency, has betrayed his trust as president, and acted in a manner subversive of the rule of law and justice. So now, the point of bringing that up is that Bill Clinton didn't actually commit a crime, and yet was impeached by the Republicans. So Donald Trump is wrong that he doesn't even have to do high crimes and misdemeanors. That he could be, like, if the Democrats really wanted to do it on the basis of him not being exonerated from obstruction of justice, they could definitely make a good case. They could do it. Now, would they? Well, I've already talked about that in previous videos. Although there are progressives that are leading the way, as progressives do. For example, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has signed on, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, etc. So you have progressives that are saying, yes, let's impeach the MFer because this report does not exonerate you. But unfortunately, you still have Democratic leadership, Steny Hoyer, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi that are saying, no, let's not impeach. Well, if you don't impeach him, then basically you're saying, you can get away with anything. I mean, again, you weren't exonerated. There's 10 different circumstances where you obstructed justice. And so we're just going to let that go. Really? Really? Is that what we're going to do? Again, they're looking at it as purely political, right? But this is not a political issue. This is a holding people accountable issue. And unfortunately, the Democrats, once again, are being ridiculous. A Democratic establishment leadership is being ridiculous and only thinking about political ramifications. I know. Now, Robert McGuire, to continue with some of these tweets, says high crimes and misdemeanors does not mean you have to break the law. Even if it did, Trump is currently an unindicted co-conspirator in felony crimes, stemming from a malicious investigation that federal prosecutors say his personal lawyer committed at his direction. Again, here's another tweet from Dean Obeidallah says, actually, I would refer you to Volume 2, page 154 of report. It's clear Mueller found you committed witness intimidation and obstruction of justice in your public attacks on Michael Cohen and his father-in-law, which Mueller noted were intended to discourage Cohen from cooperating. So a lot of that, of course, Cohen has to do with Donald Trump's shady business practices, as well as paying off Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, which, of course, would be a campaign finance violation. Dr. Dina Grayson says, the Mueller report clearly stated if we have confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that Trump clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. The only reason Trump wasn't charged is because he's in office. Now, that's very important to point out because Mueller basically made the decision like, no, I would suggest we don't do it while he's in office. And Barr, of course, was appointed that position because he did not think that you could indict a sitting president. So, and finally, Walter Schaub, maybe not finally, just added, this is embarrassing. Daniel Dale said, regardless of whether Trump committed the crime of obstruction, high crimes do not have to be actual criminal offenses. It's not true that you can't impeach without criminal offenses. And finally, Bob Seska says, when the president has to deny impeachment charges, he's losing. And of course, the reason that he's going on these Twitter tantrum right now about it is because he's incredibly worried about it. So he's worried that he will be impeached. Now, impeachment doesn't mean removal. Impeachment just means you go and you basically investigate these possible crimes and bring it before Congress. And then the Senate, of course, makes the ultimate determination on whether to convict of these. And you don't even have to impeach to get rid of a president. Again, it didn't even get to that point when it came to Nixon because Nixon had resigned before then. So there is that. And so I think that's something that we actually need to start looking at doing. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, it's not about playing politics. It's not about removing Donald Trump. What it really should be about is holding people accountable, no matter who they are. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.